Wow, people wey suppose talk true to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call am hate speech. But fear not, Mayegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over Naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we not talk. But thank God say.
Hello there.
Mayegun lawamo do.
Please let me know if the audio is perfect before I get into all of this.
Mayegun lawamo do. Mayegun ti de o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
I miss you too.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò.
Loud and clear. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It's Mayegun Live. Share the broadcast. Subscribe if you haven't. Like the broadcast. Then sit back and read the caption as well as the description. Those are the 4 first steps you have to take. Please do so. Thank you so much for joining me. After back and forth, hide and seek, INEC of Mahmoud finally opened its door for Obi and other political parties to come and access the materials used in their 2023 presidential election, right? That's part of what we are talking tonight. On the other hand, I did tell you, if you are an ardent follower of Mayegun's Diary Politico, you will remember this. I did tell you that they will rig you. But I was asking, what would you do when you get rigged? A lot of you told me on this platform that when you get to that bridge, you will cross it. But I did tell you that once they rig you, if it becomes so obvious, and it should lead to protest or something. They will begin the conversation or the talk. They call it the government of national unity. It is another decoy put in place by the establishment who write the rules of your elections. Like when you go to the casino, you can't really win against the house. When you bet against the system always finds a way to rig itself and win. I said this many times, right? As we speak, Kolu, Tinubu's advocates who have been unable to explain why 8.7 million people voted for a presidential candidate and he was declared the president-elect. Yet, the entire country, in fact, the whole world, just went into straight mourning. Right? They themselves are finding it difficult to explain why. So to save all of this, like I also said, that a lot of people are more worried about post-election wahala. How would this generation of Gen Z react to their first rigging experience in the hands of the establishment? Is it going to be chaotic? Would there be protest? Would there be like breakdown of law? Would there be revolution? This was the last clue of their plan that became a riddle nobody could solve. And that's exactly what happened. Immediately after the rigging was being perpetuated, people were already mobilizing, riling themselves up. Then Peter Obi came. He said, calm. All of you should calm down. And just like that, everywhere just calm. I am saying all of this because I still believe that the trouble that they envisaged, that seems to have been surmounted, is just a can that they kick down the road. As we speak, there are evidence and confirmed pressure, truly, that they are proposing different things to make sure that all of you, the obedient, you are going to be worn out, discouraged, and at the end of the day, divided. It's already happening, in case if you have not been paying attention. But however, there are evidence which Obi himself confirmed. And what are they proposing? INEC may not be able to actually prove that Kolu scored 8.7 million. Atif could score 6.9 million. And that Obi scored 6.1 million. They can't prove any of that. So opening their doors today for almost 60 lawyers, sons and all of them, representing obedient, all of you obedient, people still believe, by the way, that INEC has reformatted the BVAS already, which means they probably have destroyed all the evidence. Now, it will probably take forever to prove in Nigeria courts that INEC actually rigged the election. When INEC is the one with the evidence, that could actually be either proved or disproved, and they are destroying them. And in Nigerian courts, right, they don't really look at evidence, okay? Their judges and all of them look for technicalities or something to eventually throw it out. But there is so much fear, especially something that surrounds that Obi himself, which has made it impossible for the winners to really celebrate. A concern that a lot of people behind the scene are now proposing what they call government of national unity. Let me explain that to you. In 1999, the two popular parties back then were PDP and AD. So AD was able to clear almost, was able to clear the Southwest, right? And then Obasanjo, who came from Southwest. Northern Nigeria, the result came, Obasanjo, PDP and all that. Eastern Nigeria, PDP, 90%, 80%, 99%, you know what I mean? For Obasanjo. But being a Yoruba man, he saw himself as someone who has no real home credibility. If the Yorubas have shown total rejection of PDP, even when Obasanjo is their presidential candidate and their son, now to buy legitimacy, somehow he invented what they called government of national unity. So that would be like an extension of hands of fellowship to the opposition and say, listen, you don't have to challenge this case. You don't have to, you know what I mean? We can all actually come together. If you want to serve Nigeria, okay, I will give your own party. I'll give you so numbers of political appointments. I'll give yours this, and we can work together. So if you have any case you want to put up against my election, you can drop them, okay, until the next one. So as a PDP government of Obasanjo, you had APP that later became ANPP, representatives inside Obasanjo's government. You had AD, Alliance for Democracy, senior party members as members of Obasanjo's government. With that, somehow, Obasanjo believed that it will help him, okay, to railroad his own way into the political art of the Southwesterners. But it didn't stop there. It went as far as cutting a deal with some of these governors that eventually cost them their own seats. But for the time being, Obasanjo was able to feel like all Nigeria, they are with him. So if you choose to fight him, then it is easier to say you are just a troublemaker. So it worked for him. And they did the same thing during Yaradua time, political appointment and all that. So that's exactly what APC, egbekegbe, are proposing now. They are not also relenting on the propaganda of discrediting everything, or gaslighting everything, obedient, Obi himself and all that. That is going on steady. But behind the scene, if it is the record of Obi that they know, he is likely not going to give up. And the more this younger generation who are so interested are going to continue to expose everything that happens, even the judiciary that has become more dependent, not independent in this case. The judiciary will be put on trial. And just like Obedient and Obi and his movement have been able to put the entire establishment in Nigeria to trial. They put INEC on trial. They put APC, the ruling party, on trial. They put almost everyone that was so comfortable with the status quo of Nigeria until now. They put a lot of them on trial. And so far, so good. They have been more exposed, not to the older generation, but to the younger generation who are so alarmed. Like, is this how they have been doing this all this while? So putting the judiciary on trial will be probably the final nail. Now, at that point, right, they believe, apart from casting the shadow of illegitimacy on Tinubu, wherever he goes, he's never going to be seen as president. I mean, they will kind of, accord the office, something like, okay, he's the president, okay, and so. but it will take extra dictatorial, forceful actions to actually activate or implement whatever he says. Now, if Obi continues that way, and this younger generation continue this way, in this trajectory, Tinubu will be the worst ever president in Nigeria, the most hated and the most despised. In fact, it will be an utmost impostor. Now, what that means is that even those within his rank as president, the military, what do you call it, the police, talk about the entire defense, they will treat him with much scorn. Again, whatever you are seeing with the institutions in Nigeria right now will be a joke to what you are still going to see. Now, how can they curb all of that? Because they are going to need their army and their police ready to actually clamp down on this generation of rebellious Gen Z. They are not admitting that this whole thing actually cut across tribe, religion, and regions as we speak. So they will need a lot of force to suppress. They will need a lot of propaganda. They will need so much than they've ever done to suppress what is actually cooking. To kind of avoid all of that behind the scene, the pressure is on the man that they declared third. Even Atiku, they don't seem to worry about him. Meanwhile, Atiku is in the middle. He is the second. What Obi is going to demand, they don't know. Is he going to demand for a recount? Is he going to demand that it should be declared? So when they ask him, it was kind of philosophical today. Listen, if you really want to understand Nigeria politics that beats all logics, the complexity, and so many other big grammar they might have used to confuse you in order to make it hard for you to understand Nigeria. If you are Mayegun's diary political, and indeed you are here with, at least with your open mind, because on Mayegun's diary political, right, we have northerners, we have southerners, we have Christians, we have Muslims, we have those who don't believe in any religion at all, and other religions and other beliefs too, right? So we have almost all tribes that are plugging in on Mayegun's diary political, because the platform is all about the political, the political dysfunction that has brought about a dysfunctional country and a divided country, making you understand that very well. And also to understand why is Nigeria not working? Why has Nigeria devoid all solution? On Mayegun's diary political, you will understand why. Also, why are some Nigerians so angry with Nigeria? What brought about this rage, anger, and disconnection? A lot of Nigerians seems to hate Nigeria. On Mayegun's diary political, you will meet those Nigerians here. You will understand why they have been so disconnected with Nigeria. The marginalization, the inequality, the unfairness in the system, the impunity, the injustice. All of these are listed. I've listed, right? Respects no tribe, no religion, no region, and nobody. We are all victims of all of this. But you know what makes it more kind of complex is that Nigerians, they love their oppressors differently. A lot of us have never experienced good governance in our lives. Yes, millions of us have never really experienced what real governance is, or true leadership is, or responsible, accountable leadership. We've never experienced them. We've heard a lot about things before some of us were born. So therefore, we have always been subjected, right, to this kind of, oppressive system. regime after regime, system of government after system of government. This is the life many of us actually were born into. So therefore, a lot of us have accepted it as this is our life. It's just whatever you can make out of it. So they have chosen their own oppressors to love or hate. Do you get that? So that is why when you condemn PDP, you will see Nigerians that are going to abuse, attack, and even vilify you. Because somehow they will tell you their PDP is better than APC. Now, when you talk about the APC or exposes what APC and the rest of their government are doing and how much this is having direct impact on them and contributing to mostly what they are experiencing in their lives every day, you will see those that will tell you, shut up your mouth. Can you do any better? So they love their oppressors differently. For years, generally, their excuse was that there is no other alternative to this oppressive, corrupt, and terror-filled political party, APC, PDP. They will tell you, they give excuses. None of them is viable. None of them is strong enough. That, you know, we just have to manage them. If there is any other one now, people will, you know what I mean? Then shockingly, surprisingly, after years of never seen before suffering, young people who are now much more exposed to information that their own parents would pay fortune to access in their time. Now they have all of this information at in their palms. So they are now asking questions. This has now brought about an unexpected, a national movement that has become disobedient. It is collection of the frustrated Nigerians, young and old. That's their genesis. But you know something? The comfortable slaves, the sophisticated morons who are comfortable with their own slave masters, they were those who now ganged up to gaslight those who have never done them anything whatsoever that actually contributed to where they are today. So it is now the comfortable slaves in Nigeria versus the tired slaves in Nigeria. Now, if you then begin to pay attention to their politics, this is where you will understand better that their oppressors are powerful because they have kept them divided and powerless. But because of bad leadership, right? Even the bad leaders themselves, they are not really finding it easy. You know, when you are marginalized for too long, when you are oppressed for too long, when you are being, when you are being killed for too long, and you can see those who put you in this state, right, caring lesser and lesser and lesser, that then will bring about agitation, revolution, protests, disagreement, and ironically, Nigeria is practicing democracy where all of these displeasures are all welcomed. But because Nigeria is not really a democratic country, like I said, the people didn't even choose it. Do you get? So, what happened? They unleashed terror on them to suppress those agitation, those disagreements and all that. But do you know what actually really feels sad about Nigeria with what they have done to so many of you today is that in Nigeria today, they reward terrorists and they punish activists. Activists are considered more dangerous when they tell people to stand up and demand for what is rightly theirs. In the democratic Nigeria, it is considered a treason when you pick up arms and you can massacre as many people as you can. You are not considered as that. In fact, you are likely going to get a red carpet with bags of money awaiting you at the end of it. This is what Nigeria has become. Now, as disjointed, as divided, as corrupted as Nigeria has become, right? The establishment is still worried because for the first time, something that they never really planned for is about to what? To sink them. And it is not just you, the obedient and everything you stand for, that they are sort of afraid of. It is because they didn't plan for this. There was no preparation for it. And because of this, they are making more mistakes that are getting you even more angrier. And they just don't know what to do. So it's more or less like a carrot and stick. They are looking for legitimacy. They are also trying to shut you up from asking them to account for how they became president-elect. So if you want to understand this whole thing, that in Nigeria, they will tell you 1 + 1 in Nigeria politics is not 2. You know why is that? Because people have accepted the manipulation, the fraud, the corruption, the violence that follows the process of selecting those who will lead them. When you elect thieves and you give them the key and code to your treasury and treasure, should you go about and start crying when they then empty them? This is one of the reasons why I said the process is what many of us are not looking into. If you look at the process that produces those that are presented to you as those that are going to fix Nigeria, there lies all you need to know, that you should never be part of it or waste your time doing anything. But whatever we said or haven't said, the obedient have proved the point. And as of today, they are the threats that the establishment is not bold enough to admit to. As if they want them to make more mistakes. That's exactly what this whole thing will end up as. LP, which is Labour Party, they have signaled to their members, and I believe to the obedient, that any moment from now, they will be occupying all of the offices of INEC in Nigeria. And, I don't know, until they present or give them the access to the materials used in the 2023 elections, right? I mean, presidential elections. So today, a team of lawyers were ushered in. I'll let you see the entrance. And the credit for this clip goes to the channel's television, okay? Please tell them. Yeah, give them that credit. However, let me see if I have the clip on. Mind you, there are so much I'm going to share with you tonight, especially, well, I'm going to be taking them one by one, okay? So let's kind of start it from where Obi himself was talking about this today. And I think we'll take that from the Arise television, okay? So this is us starting now. Take a leap.
Resort to ethnic, religious, I've been shouting, oh, Peter campaign on religion, oh, Peter campaign on, but they are the ones doing it. I've never in any way told anybody in any church, in any gathering, vote for me based on this. I've said it, do not vote for Peter to be based because of his father is from the southeast. People voted for me. On the issue of somebody being young and modern, it's laughable. It's actually, we should actually stop people from being old and contest. If I have my way, if we can.
All right, I'm glad you talk about to remain prayerful and to remain calm. And the reason I say this is that some prominent Nigerians, church leaders, traditional rulers, and high net worth stakeholders are saying that though there are several infractions, the outcome of the election is the way God wants it, and it should be allowed. So on one hand, you are saying remain prayerful and calm, but we'll still go to court. Others are saying for the peace of Nigeria, remain prayerful, calm, and accept this as God's will. What do you have to say to that?
Well, you know, I'm very respectful to prominent Nigerians, especially church leaders, traditional rulers, and all that. And I'm very respectful to them. And I think they should be respected for what they represent in our society. But I disagree with them. What they're actually preaching is the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria is accepting wrongdoing, accepting what is unacceptable. That is using God's name in vain. That's not what God said. God said, do not use my name in vain. So what they're saying is not God's wish. It is not God's plan for Nigeria. So why don't we accept that the 133 million Nigerians who are poor is God's wish? Why don't we accept that 95 million Nigerians living in absolute poverty is God's wish? It is God's wish that you don't have electricity. It is God's wish that our children are kidnapped. It is God's wish that we have collapsed primary health care, leading us to be the country with the highest infant mortality. It is everything happening. It's God's way. Not what God says. No. God's wish is when you do the right thing. And in the end, it is not. This election was predicated and planned. And we have clear laws about the conduct of the election. If it was followed, if these results were uploaded from the booth, polling units, like they said, to the server and everything, we won't be here, we won't be talking about it. It would have been concluded in a matter of hours without anybody arguing about it. But it is not God's wish that you do the wrong thing. It is not God's wish that you go and rob a train and make money and start sharing it. It is not God's wish. This is what is killing the country. People come here, take public money, and then go and give it to people in the church and treasure, and they say it's God's wish, and start giving them title in the church, title in this. That is what we are fighting. That's what we want to stop. We want God's wish to be truly God's wish. And that is when we do the right things, and God gives his blessing. What we are doing now is why they come. What do you tell the young ones growing up? That is God's wish that you steal? That is God's wish that you conduct a wrong election? So tell me the difference between those of us who are doing this and the armed robbers. What is the difference between us and the trained robbers? Let's be sincere with ourselves. That's why it's God's wish that somebody came to your station and said he knows a governor who have 22 billion naira stacked, and nobody's asking about him. But we're stopping young people who are carrying computer and questioning them and calling them names. That's not God's wish. God wishes something better. What I want is God to allow us to do the right things so we can start building a better country for our children.
All right. So, that same day reaffirming the fact that, people are coming or saying that maybe it's God's wish, only God, you know what I mean? And so many other things that they are pushing to get him to back down. But it's like, I'm not going to back down, right? Now, here is another part to what you had to say. I want to add them together so that I can, move on. Him and Ruben Abati. The same, this clip as well, the credit goes to the Arise Television. If you want to watch the whole interview, I think it's more than an hour. You can go on to the Arise Television on YouTube, okay? and you can see the whole interview. But I just want to share this part with you. Then I will move on. End the diary. Here we go.
And for making Southern presidency possible, you are his hero. Festus Keyamo, spokesperson of the APC, also waded into the matter and said, in fact, that you have served your purpose in this electoral process, that the purpose that you were to serve was to help make Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu president-elect. That's his own reading of it. He says, because without you stopping the PDP in their traditional states, Bola Tinubu will not have emerged as president-elect. Number 3, Reno Omokri, who is a spokesperson for the People's Democratic Party, says, well, APC may have rigged, but that Mr. Peter Obi was the perfect rigger in that election, and that you rigged in the Southeast, that he is surprised that a candidate will be reporting 97% of the votes from certain states of the Federation. Of course, Atiku Abubakar, presidential candidate of the PDP himself, had admitted that your leaving the PDP hurt his chances in that election. What do you say to these general comments on your presidential race?
Well, Ruben, my first reaction generally is that I contested the election. I wasn't contesting it to help anybody to win. And I continue to say that even the declared winner did not win. You might have been declared by whatever means, but you've not won the election. Ruben, to win is to win the people. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people. That means if you must win, you must win the people. But if you don't win the people, you've not won. And I can tell you, the last election, the declared person did not win. However, that is what we're challenging. The rascality is what we're challenging. On the various comments, let me use the issue of Reno Omokri. Ordinarily, I won't comment on anything because I only comment on or reply fellow presidential candidates, not their spokesperson, because they're not contesting. But since something that I have never participated or been part of was mentioned, I need to reply it. Ruben, I have never, and I will never, ask anybody to add one vote for me that doesn't rightfully belong to me. I've never paid anybody to rig election for me. Go all over Nigeria and ask anybody in INEC, the so-called EOs, resident commissioners, everybody, whether any of them have met Peter Obi saying do this. Go and ask police, army, anybody. Never. They are referees. It is their job to do their job. I've never. This show where I got 97% is in Anambra State. Reno Omokri forgot that in 2019, go and check the records, where PDP had the highest vote was in Anambra State. When in 2019, when I was vice presidential candidate to Atiku, our vote in Anambra State was 95 point something, almost 96%. That's where PDP got the highest vote, because I was on that ballot. And they know me. Ruben, I live in Onitsha. If you want to know whether I get 95% in Anambra State, come and go to Anambra State with me. I don't need police. When I come out, you see the reaction of the people. In fact, I'm actually surprised I didn't get 100%. I'm telling you, because I don't know who will be voting against me in Anambra State. In the Southeast, it's a similar situation. People know me. People know what I stand for. People know I've kept to my promises. People know I've kept what I've said. It's a simple thing. It's like people go about and say, oh, he got votes in Lagos because of the Igbos. Remember how many Igbos live in Lagos? I got more votes from the indigenous in Lagos than those who are, you can call visitors. Are the Igbos in Nassarawa? Are the Igbos in Plateau? Are the Igbos in Abuja? In rivers, where you know that the governor came out against me and everything, I said, if the real vote of rivers were counted, Ruben I won. I have over 50-something% of the vote. The other two parties were sharing the order. And it was, I won in Nassarawa. It was so, will you say it's rigging? Which machinery do I have to rig? I have no councillor, I have no local government chairman, no this thing. I'm not in control of police. I don't even know any DPO. So which machinery will I use to rig? How will you do? They are the ones who I believe in this. What they are doing is what I'm trying to change. So those who say you have satisfied what I came for are part of the people we're trying to change.
All right. Okay, so let's talk.
Did you hear that? So he answered, in fact, intelligently, the propaganda. I mean, if an obedient want to phrase what Obi have said so far, they will tell you that Obi destroyed APC propaganda within just 2 minutes, 120 seconds. When he asked the question that, are there more Igbos in Lagos than non-Igbos, than the indigenous of Lagos? Are there more Igbos? Are there more Igbos in Nassarawa? Do you have more Igbos in Abuja and inside Aso Rock? Are there more Igbos in Plateau than the people there? So, the idea of it is Igbo this, Igbo that, that's what he said about that. There is even more. Just before I give my own overall, I don't think you are kind of tired. Are you tired? No, you shouldn't, because we haven't even started. It's going to be a long night. So, you can take a moment, or while you are watching this, like the broadcast, share it, copy the link and send it to people that should be probably join while we watch this other part. They turned propaganda on a young man that they have now found to be the beneficiary of the obedient movement and their wave, especially in Lagos. They haven't learned anything. So far, they are pushing the propaganda, and they had to ask him about it too. Listen.
Resort to ethnic, religious, and be shouting, oh, Peter campaign on religion, oh, Peter campaign on, but they are the ones doing it. I've never in any way told anybody in any church, in any gathering, vote for me based on this. I've said it, do not vote for Peter to be based because of his partner is from the southeast. People voted for me on the issue of somebody being young and old. It's laughable. It's actually, we should actually stop people from being old and contest. If I have my way, if we can retire our bishops at 70, retire our professors at 70, Supreme Court at 70, it's time we put age for this our politics so that people can also retire. Because there's a reason why we say at 70, 75, people should go and rest. So let us, is these people that are saying it that are bringing confusion? Age of 40 is age where people are becoming or became president in America, the world's biggest economy, 25 trillion. And you're just 400 billion. And you're talking about age. That is the right age, the right background, the right education.
So we've been talking about the presidential election. But your party, despite the criticism that you had no structure, you had no representation in the National Assembly, ended up getting into the National Assembly. 6 seats in the Senate, 34 in the House of Representatives. I would like you to comment on that. And then second, this issue of INEC not allowing you access to inspect election materials. Now, Yusuf Tanko, the chief spokesperson of your party, has now served notice that INEC was duly served a CTC copy of the court order on March 3. INEC was reminded on March 6, and that the only option now available to the Labour Party is to picket to INEC offices nationwide in a peaceful protest, he says. It has also occurred to the party to seek the option of going back to court to make it clear to court that INEC is guilty of contempt, is contemptuous of the court order, or the only measure you want to adopt is that of the peaceful street protest to INEC officers. Those two issues.
Thank you, Dr. Abati. We will apply both. Because you have a situation where you cannot even imagine. You know, INEC is an institution backed by law. The courts have given an order, a ruling. They are not obeying it. Where do we start to build a nation? The most important ingredients of what makes a nation is the rule of law. And I said it when I was campaigning, that we must govern by rule of law. Women, the biggest contributor to the Western economy today, in terms of GDP, in terms of their growth, is intangible assets called rule of law. The reason why people want to live in America, in Britain, in anything, is not because things that happen here don't happen, but because if it happens, you can seek redress in court and it will be obeyed. It's because if you call police, it will nothing else. Nothing else. I have somebody who told me an interesting story. He said he had a wife in Nigeria, and he would shout at his wife, do whatever he likes, and then suddenly something happened and he went to the UK and he shouted and the wife called police, and police came and he was still shouting in front of police, and the police told him that he shouldn't come near one mile radius of his house because of the way he's behaving.
You didn't remind them that he paid dowry as a Nigerian.
He told me, said, all he wants is to go back to Nigeria with his wife. Why? It's law and order. And that's what we are lacking here. Ruben, we must live in a society that is organized. Today, with the way Nigeria is, considering how bad things are economically, what the world expected of us in 2023, there was so much expectation, is to have free, fair, and credible election where the new government will come to start. When you talk about people say low-hanging fruit. The number one low-hanging fruit here is to start governing by rule of law. If you start it, you start changing this country. And that I'm committed to. And I urge INEC to please help the country. The image of the country today has such an importance in Committee of Nations is being put into question by all this rascality.
National Assembly elections. And how
For
do
me-
you intend to leverage on
For
that?
me, I thank God that we're able to get the number of seats we received. I hosted the candidates after they received their certificate and urged them to know that we are committed to a new Nigeria and we must do things differently. We must support what is right. We must go there to work hard and everything. And I'm sure they will. We also said we have a retreat after this. Ruben, the things we need to do going forward for Labour Party, for them, we need to build a democratic institute that will be able to teach people what their job is all about and what they're expected to do. It is not just you've won an election. It is now time for you to be part of the confusion that exists, to make it transnational. We now want to leverage and talk. We're talking with different organizations, different countries that can help us to build a proper democratic institution that will teach our people, including me, what governance is all about.
All right, great point. Now, I just want to ask, following that, you received or you hosted the 40 Labour candidates who emerged winners for the National Assembly elections. So people have asked the question, or some of your critics have asked.
It's a long talk, okay? Like I said, you can go onto Arise Television and watch their full interview there. And then you can also go on Twitter and ask Peter Obi any question you want to ask, okay? No, they ask me, make I ask him. I'm playing you a replay video. You are typing, ask him, what rule of law did you follow? Ajani from Oshogbo is asking that, what rule of law did you follow when he was in Anambra? Is very active on Twitter. Trust me, follow them. They will give you your answer. Anyway, rule of law. I told you that people don't believe in the judiciary, Nigeria judges, okay? Among the institutions that have been so discredited by APC, egbekegbe, and turned to paper tiger, yeah, have been the judiciary in Nigeria. Omoyele Sowore, let's even take it back. It all started with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, where they have a state, a kind of a secret police. They are called SSS, officially, State Secret Service. But they are popularly known as DSS, Daura Secret Service. So they were very much on hand to carry out state-sanctioned kidnapping that they will first deny, then after a few days of rigorous torture of their victim, then they will now admit. And they won't call it kidnapping. They will call it invitation. But do you know that in Nigeria, the Daura Secret Service, DSS, they have judges on their payroll that can issue them any arrest warrant, even in the middle of the night, including weekends, to carry out all these sinister kidnappings for the state. They kidnapped the leader of the Shiites in 2015, El Zazaki. They kidnapped the leader of the IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in December 2015. They kidnapped Omoyele Sowore in Lagos. They kidnapped, and they have, so these are people who have names, though. There are thousands of people that doesn't have, they are not as popular as all these names that ended up in the dungeon of the Daura Secret Service based on the sanction or order of the asshole rock. Now, don't get confused, okay? The thing there is that a lot of people approached courts in Nigeria. And disappointingly, the state's armed kidnappers, which is the DSS, the only thing they do in their courts is to use conjectures, lies, and other things. Then they have lawyers who will always demand for an adjournment, because their purpose of kidnapping people is not to curb insecurity or anything at all. It is actually to keep away the people, Nigerians, they suspected to be a potential troublemaker. No matter how small or mighty you think you are. All they have to do is to put up something, kidnap you. If you go to court, then the court will say they should extend it, and you can be there with them for 2 years, 3 years, even 5 years. This has been the state's operation policy in Nigeria, especially since APC, egbekegbe, came in. So, if, and then in so many cases, the courts would then order some judges who sum up courage to give right judgment. Most of their judgments are based on the fact that the state have no evidence against the people they are locking up. Imagine locking people up. Then you appear in court only to be telling court about social media posts and this or that, when you should be presenting hard evidence of what they have done actually on ground, but nothing. Imagine courts in Nigeria throwing cases out, treasonable, offensive post, criticizing government, all those ridiculous cases. When they finally meet the real judge, they got thrown out. And that's their modus of operation. All this while, they disobey court order at will. But now the obedient want to put the judiciary on trial. And I don't think the establishment want that to happen. Immediately after that broadcast or that chat. And so they called their lawyers. Oh yeah, come and check the equipment. Okay, send your lawyers. Come and check the BVAS. So they send them in. Channels Television's clip. The credit for this as well is theirs.
Stand down from there. You just stand down when we come out, and they will call you when you want to come out. No problem.
So there's not much, okay? Probably we'll get details. When I get details, I'll share that with you, okay? But for that intro, from Channels Television to show them walked into the premises and all that, even though they believe that INEC, because tomorrow, on Tuesday, INEC is going to complete the reconfiguration of all of the 176,800 and something BVAS machines. But do you know that by law, they said that you have to use the BVAS as your card reader, your picture verification and other stuff, election result uploading tool, and all of that in one BVAS, okay? So, if you want to then prove rigging or irregularity, it simply means that if you have more voters than the accredited voters, that result will be cancelled. Okay? But let me tell you something. While the rest of you are battling with BVAS, machine no they upload, and then they are thugs, INEC falsifying results, election returning officer running away, and all those drama you are facing in southern Nigeria, they were comfortably thumbprinting in northern Nigeria, even without BVAS. Would you believe that as majority of you were disenfranchised in southern Nigeria from actually participating, right? Because your machine didn't work, the thugs chased you away. In northern Nigeria, where majority of them didn't even come out, so to say, yeah, they didn't come out. However, in northern Nigeria, they were just printing, giving them ballots, BVAS, BAO. So Obi would discover that there is nothing to back anything they put on that BVAS in northern Nigeria, and that is why it is the most place they want to wipe out, and they've done it. They've done it. We just hope that all of you will believe that Obi will pull a surprise. Technologically, you will trace whatever they delete. But what you find there will shock you, because there will be no accreditation voters. There will be no number of this or that. There will be no machine verification. Everything is handwritten. And with INEC complicit, being part of, because I told you, nobody can do any rigging without INEC. Okay? INEC rig elections in Nigeria for the highest bidder, whoever pays more. And that is why they compartmentalize it. Okay? When you get to different states, they make different deals there. But at the same time, if the deal comes from the top, for whatever it is, how they spread the rigging and all of that, all of their EOs, electoral officers, they will receive the memo and they will be given the already prepared their result. They rig election. All the thugs that are carrying your ballot boxes, all those people, they are not actually the real rigging. They are disenfranchising you, which is part of rigging, right? But the real ones are those who actually write the figures. The criminals are in INEC, inside INEC. And guess what? For you to know that Nigeria is irredeemable. And when I say this with utmost sincerity. Okay? If it's otherwise, I will say otherwise. Nigeria is irredeemable. That as politicians are planning, plotting, and the rest of that, yeah, the citizens themselves who are going to serve in the whole electoral process, including those who will serve as delegates, they are actually those who would help them to achieve whatever the desire of that politician is. Now, the same people who are going to suffer in the ruined country, they are those who are going to serve as canvassers, campaigners, who are going to lie to their fellow people, who are going to oppress them. They are also the same people who are going to be recruited as electoral officers. So, are you with me? The same people who are suffering in that same system, they are those who are going to work as electoral officers. They are those who will receive those orders. They are those who will carry them out to the letter. You will see some of them sweating, fighting, all because of peanuts they have been promised. And with the little position they control, they ensure they comply. So when the whole result comes, bad leadership, everybody then suffers it. Then they will repeat the same thing again and again and again and again. So how do you redeem a country like that and say, Nigeria is redeemable? Don't say that again. I just told you why. It's irredeemable. It's not Tinubu that is changing the result of elections. You know that. It's not Tinubu that is changing, what do you call it? Chasing you out of the polling unit. People are doing them. People like you. People who are victims like you. Simply because somehow, they have been told if they don't do it, whatever they are benefiting from now, they're going to lose it. They're going to die. They're going to suffer so much. Even though they are suffering right now. Even though they are dying right now. But they will tell them, yeah, we know you are suffering. But guess what? You are going to suffer more if you don't defend if you don't defend us. So that's the point. Where do you start from? How do you explain it to every one of them? Imagine, the people that are being paid peanuts, who are also transferring that aggression on the people. You, in Lagos, for example, some of you know who are the Lasma, you know who are the Loma, you know who are the Lastra, they have all this Lastra, Masa in Lagos. These are the different, what do you call it? Different feeding bottle pipelines, okay, that the establishment like Kolu created, okay, to massage his fiefdom, the ego of his fiefdom, and say, I'm the Lord, landlord. Sure, you get. But when you meet all these people who are actually doing this job, okay, because they are underpaid, poorly paid, and most of the time, right, they are on their own. If they should die or anything happened to them, incapacitated, a lot of them ended up even poorer, abandoned by the same people who said, Shebi, we gave you job. So to survive the hardship that the general economy has brought upon them, some of them can't pay their house rent. They can't pay their children school fees or what have you, or keep up the life, except they unleash their corruption on you, extort you, and most of the time even contribute to you dying. They have to go illegal way. Now they are now threatening them. If you don't protect Lagos, if another people come to Lagos, see, all of you will suffer. They are already suffering. Are they not suffering? People's mama, people's papa, who have been subjected to 24 years of misrule in Lagos alone, they have been intimidated. They have been threatened with one thing and one thing only. What they believe is their little benefit from saying, I am a Nigerian and I'm a Lagosian. If you are living in London, working in London, paying your tax in London, you are a Londoner. Therefore, you have access to the healthcare in London. You have access, your children will have access to the education facility in London. Yeah. You yourself, you have a say in what happened in London as a Londoner. But as a Lagosian, you have your survival, your survival tag. You wear them on your neck every day. How to survive police, how to survive LASMA, how to survive LASRA, how to survive this, how to survive that, how to survive, how to survive Agbero, how to survive, because everybody is just looking for who to extort and who to make your life, whose life to make it miserable. Even people who are making your life miserable, they are working for other people behind the scene that are telling them, if you don't meet the quota, see other people are suffering, we'll bring them in. So how do you think they can turn them around? And you call it brainwashing them? No. They are not being brainwashed. They are being threatened for real. That little thing you have that you can call your own, Shebi you they do last month, even if we know they pay you good money. What about the money you are seeing on the road? Have you not seen Mr. Kolawole, the controller, the director of Ojota Axis? Last month, he don't build 2 houses, one in Lagos, inside Kana for Ojota there, and he don't build another one for a village for Ekiti. But Mr. Lasisi or Mr. what have you right now is going to go about and say, we need to save Yoruba land. We need to save Lagos State. We need to save our people. Igbos are coming for us. Because he's been threatened. That means that, what you call it? If these people come now, you will not be able to take bribe again. You will not be able to do what you are doing, If we lose Lagos, you lose your source of income. So they threaten them. That's not loyalty. That's not leadership, is it? There are somebody's mama, somebody papa. Can they sing? They do video. Ewe ori jilaja. Ewe ori ìjì lájà o. Ẹni àbáṣẹ kò foríjì wá. Ewe ori ìjì lájà. Ewe ẹgbẹ̀rin. Ẹni àbáṣẹ kò foríjì wá. Ewe ori ìjì lájà. Sorry if you don't understand Yoruba. That song was simply saying, we have plucked the leaf of forgiveness. That leaf of forgiveness, we are presenting that to everybody that we might have offended, that we might have done anything wrong to. As LASMA, working for Lagos, whatever we have done to you that has made you so angry. So in their world, they know that the Yorubas who make up the largest population of Lagos, they are upset with them. They are pushing a narrative of Igbo this, Igbo that. But yet, behind the scene, they are telling themselves, something is wrong. People are angry with us. Something is not right. Now, this is the one in public. Before you saw these people dancing, if you know the amount of WhatsApp messages, if you know the amount of departmental messages that they are sending to these people in Lagos for working for Sonwo-Iku, they are threatening them. Your papa dey here? That's them begging, please. So, if you accept their begging, you go see Shege Bambiala. You know what is called Shege Bambiala? The kind of Shege that you will face, and you will no longer be able to pretend. Hello, sorry, excuse me, bro. Sorry, please. I'm sorry to disturb you, okay? My name is Mayegun. I came all the way from Glasgow, and I just found myself somewhere around there in Oshodi. All my phone, all my everything have been taken. Bros, I just need your help. I don't usually do this, okay? I don't usually do this. I need just 600 Naira to buy my tickets and go back to Glasgow. I'm going to let you 600 Naira ticket to Glasgow. Yes, sir. Shewa, okay. Yes, sir. I'm very okay. I am Mayegun from Glasgow. Yes, sir. Glasgow is in Scotland now. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I should give you 600 Naira to buy ticket back to Glasgow. Yes, I said, no, ma. Say, my brother, sorry. I am not Mayegun. What happened is exactly that. What actually happened per se is that I'm hungry. Please. 600 Naira can help a man from 1 mile to like 3 miles. I have a long way to go, but I mean, sorry. That is the kind of shege you will see. I wish you all the best. So maybe today there is shege day everywhere, but I mean, but the real people who are who they have offended, they know them. The narrative of Igbo this, Igbo that is not selling. I mean, you went as far as burning down people's markets, destroying properties, without any care. Igbo this, Igbo that. Torí re-election, torí re-election. Ẹ wá sọ Jídé di usher. Obedience. I know they gaslight you a lot, okay? For some of you who don't understand the meaning of political gaslighting, let me quickly say it to you. I know so many of you will say you do know. But I beg, make a talk to those who don't know. Political gaslighting in Nigeria. I'm coming, don't go anywhere, okay? Don't go anywhere. I'm going to change this battery.
I am hereby sounding a note of warning to every merchant, trader, petrol station, banker that is refusing old Naira notes. If you are reported to me, I
ṣe ń gbọ́ dubious dàpọ̀ a máa pè é kò tí ì kàn ẹ́ kò fi ẹ́ change battery camera mi ni. Political gaslighting is when somebody says you have no idea of what you are doing. All of you are just noise makers. Bunch of ill-educated, ill-informed, short-sighted people who don't understand what they are talking about. Politically, yeah? You know, some people love to sort of do this, what do you call that thing again? Virtue, no, that's not virtue signaling, no. Oh, I actually thought I would remember that, but anyway. You see, where people kind of make themselves, right, professional when it comes to Nigeria politics. You see, let me tell you the way it's and all of that. So, for months, condescendingly, the obedient were called names. Look at them. You know what I mean? And all that. And those ones were giving them back. Then when it got to a stage, right? They who have always been like attacking, abusing, and calling them names, right? When they now lost their voices, I mean, probably overwhelmed. So they now use the word like, all of you, we hope you will not burn down Nigeria. So if you say, we not go agree, we have to fight for our this, or you know what I mean? So they'll begin to say, or gaslight you in a way to say, anything that is wrong with Nigeria now, the economy, the image, the everything, they will blame it on your reactions, gaslight you for it, push you enough to start defending it. It is all a game. That's also part of the tribal card they are playing. Okay? Religious card. APC, egbekegbe. They choose Muslim tickets. And then they blame people for reacting to them. Are you with me? And they didn't stop there. They further continued to gaslight. The same obedient that they knew cut across all Nigeria, including in Lagos, who are Yorubas. They know. Yeah? But they will continue to gaslight you and make like they believe that, okay? So they want the world to see that they are the problems. Look at them now, they want to protest. Look at them, they want, you know what I mean? You know that, yeah? It's called gaslighting, but I don't think it is really working. That's the point I'm making. Because the real people they have offended are those who got that message. They use people and dump them. People have suffered in their hands. A lot of them believe that they have no way out. Nobody can defeat them or what have you. In Ekorodu, they promised people, their own members, they didn't give them shishi afterward. Until now, just like same way, you, the obedient, they have considered you to be the greatest threat to their political survivors, their jobs, and the rest of all those things they have been getting away with. It got to a stage that Ejide the usher, Lagos State Governor, turned usher in a church, just to show that he is closer to the people because he didn't want to lose re-election. Oh, yeah, so for me. Eh? And some of you are so rude. How could you be shaking your governor and you are looking away? And so, this is what obedience have caused in Lagos. Don't worry about their social media, what have you. For social media, majority of those who wish that they are actually from Lagos or they are currently in Lagos, you don't know the number. A lot of them wishes that they are actually in Lagos. As we speak, they have started sending buses to people who are ready to come to Lagos on Saturday. Voters card day, don't worry, just come. We need the number because they don't have the number. Surprisingly, right? They don't have the number. So they will need a serious rigging. I'm talking about serious rigging to pull it off. If those they deceived the first time are currently saying, they no pay us. They didn't give us our money. They use us. Sanwo-Olu, Iwo, Eledawa da fún ẹ.
What shall I say unto the Lord? Yes, Lord. All I have to say, thank you, Lord. What shall I say? Thank you,
is thank you, Lord. Go and pay the canvassers. Loma, Lasma, Lasra, Lasident, and every other thing that they might have created. They should put all the numbers together so that they can deliver Sanwo-Iku. Put all of them together, house them in Alausa, lock them up, collect their phones. Because as the thing day now, pressure to wow. Let me be honest too. destroying people's livelihood, burning down markets, threatening people on the streets and everywhere is not helping, or it's not going to help us. So we could, the way I'm seeing it. The last time they burned down Akere markets in Lagos, they said they did because they wanted to send a message to the Igbos in Lagos, and they have marked so many other markets in Lagos that they're going to do the same thing too. Now, you know why I'm now talking about Lagos, right? They are feeling threatened right now. Losing Lagos is not good at all. Then Tinubu being in court, fighting to at least get his certificates not to be taken away from him. Kalu that cannot hold anything. Kalu that Baba Ungbonlowa and everything. For the first time, Kalu held the certificate of return. Baba, a hand no shake. So that's to tell you that if anything should happen to Lagos, if he not be just hand and leg, they shake, the whole head and everything, even brain, you go to hear koro. If you knock his head and say, Baba, koro like that, a lot will be shaking. So they have to do a lot to keep that Lagos. And like I said, it seems that they would do more than blackmailing people or burning markets. When you burn down all the markets, where do you think they are going to get the IGR from? Later, Alakpama Shishe. If any of you have created wealth in your life, you will never, ever go anywhere to encourage burning down people's businesses. We are saving our land. We are saving our land. Who are those who are giving your lands away? The same criminals who are telling you that they are coming to take your land. Hang on. Somebody who actually is a Lagosian. He said it's a payback time, okay? Now these people you offend. Or you are your criminal, your agberos. They are burning innocent people's properties to scare them away. Are you going to also burn these people down? Listen to this, so guys. Pay attention, no. These are the real people who are after some way in Lagos, so not Igbos, so not non-Yorubas, so the real Yorubas that the Omoniles, the Agberos have sent to Orun Osangangan. We are talking about emergency heaven, or somebody who they sent to heaven in the Osangangan afternoon, gangan. That is a very sunny afternoon. The criminal gang, the criminal rackets, and the rest of them who have actually made fortune on the innocent blood of innocent people, cutting land, selling lands, killing people, the landowners, reselling them, including people in government. So, your government needs what is called the tax. To run the city, to run the states, when you burn them down, where do you think that resources will come from? Listen to this guy.
Governor Sanwo-Olu, good evening. We are back. It's payback time now, Governor Sanwo-Olu. Point and kill governor. You remember, let me remind you, in 2020, 20th of August 2020, you came to our community, Oreki Alakun Village, Oreki Village Estates, where we were occupying, where we have been. You came there and demolished our estate. Governor Sanwo-Olu, can you remember at all? I'm reminding you now. On the 17th of August 2020, in the midst of lockdown, you came and you pasted round our properties an eviction notice called Governor's Order, Governor's Eviction Order or something, removal order. You gave us 7 days in that notice while we were still negotiating and still discussing and trying to go to court to get an injunction to prevent this. You breached that your own order, Governor Sanwo-Olu. You breached the order on the fourth day. On the fourth day of the seventh day, which was on the 20th, you came with almost 50 mobile police mobile policemen with civil defense and non-state actors, thugs and all that, with excavators, payloaders, and bulldozers. You came and demolished and demolished and demolished and demolished. You rendered people all homeless. In the midst of COVID-19 lockdown, people were running helter-skelter. Some of the people were trying to snap and video what was going on. Your mobile police chased them, seized their phone, crushed their phone, stole some of the people's phone away. They demolished all the houses there. Structures, not shanties. Not shanties, sir. You know it. They demolished our properties there. 45 hectares we were occupying there, owned by the 12 families, the indigenous families of Ibejuleki, the Olowo Opejo family, the Oguntaku family, the Olowu family, the Akpeno family, the Ogoye family, the Onibeju family, to name a few, as well as the Landlord Association. You demolished our properties. We went to court to get injunction against you. You still demolished. And you said the land was for overriding public interest. You know that was not true, sir. You gave the land to likes of your cronies, likes of Capital Gardens, Capital Home Gardens, Kenneth Okonkwo, Gracias, Delight Homes, Obi Kubana and he money them. Governor Sanwo-Olu, good evening. We are back.
So you said, you get what I mean now. See, these are the people that made it difficult for that guy in that Etiosa. What is that guy's name again? Hey. That thug that they made king in the Etiosa side. Remind me of his name, okay? And it's Elegushi, yeah. That thug, okay? So, despite him using his own position as well as a non-state actors to prevent people from that axis expressing their disgust and displeasure with APC, egbekegbe, they see beat them there. This is why. It's not Igbos. You need to know that even if they are trying to make you do horrible things, Igbos are not your problem. The Yorubas are having their lands taken away from them by Tinubu and gang. I remember a story. Some of you will remember this story. In 2007, this was the year that Isaleko, Barack Obama, Alagbado Albert Einstein, Fashola, that was the time Tinubu was pushing him as his successor. Now, nobody knew then that there was this land he took from the people of Ibejuleki or so as well. You know what he did? Tinubu took the land from disputing families who are fighting over the land. He took the land from them and told them that they are going to use the land to build General Hospital, the biggest in Africa. Big General Hospital for them in that axis. So it will just be the land to settle all, the General Hospital will settle all the wahala. You know what happened? Immediately after, the families were like, okay, they slowed down. Tinubu started giving this land to his own cronies. And they started, they started cutting the land. Until the family woke up one day and they saw that UBA, this one, that one, they have put up their different billboard asking people to come and buy land that they are now selling fast. Our family land selling fast, TK. Tinubu, you did this one. That story is true life story. Oh. So when Tinubu got to their area to campaign, Fashola was sitting beside him. Tinubu was governor. He already ordered himself a bulletproof car, a criminal who knows what he was doing, a racket. He already ordered himself a bulletproof car. So when they went to that axis in Lagos to campaign that day, the families there then turn up on them. I mean, they scattered the campaign. ACN, I think they were ACN or something then, or AC, whatever. Shot at them, all of their thugs, everybody. Igbo. Fashola said, one of those who attacked them came close to the governor's convoy car, pointed his gun. He saw Fashola inside the car like that, pointed the gun, fire. But it was a bulletproof car. So, when that bounced back, the guy with the shred of the gunshot and all of that, right? He just ran. Tinubu was the one who was sharing the story. I remember then. It was around, if you go and search for that, you see it. He was sharing that story. He said, because some people were angry that government took their land. But what happened to that land when the government of Tinubu took it? Fashola sold all the land. Until they heard that maybe na UBA, maybe na MBA, wherever BA, wherever, I've already provided facility for the Lagos state government, and the collateral is the land they want to use for General Hospital. True story. So these are the people who are like, I've been waiting for a time to take back their pound of flesh. But you are attacking innocent people, right? Who are also contributing, who are actually contributing to the money that your criminal leaders are living off or living on. They have, Tinubu has about 3 private jets. Yeah, he just needs immunity, presidential immunity, joining the league to protect his loot for his family, like Obasanjo did for his family. And every criminal that has passed through that asshole rock, they've done for their family. He's looted Lagos enough that a lot of Lagosians have been waiting for this time. Trust me, you are going to need more than that threat. You're going to need a lot to subdue those who are actually coming for you. And you will need more than this as well. More than this. Because how do you say we origi to somebody like this who are victims of tribal, hateful, divisive politics? These guys may not even have voters card. They may not even participate. They may not even have participated in your elections at all. But because they are, you will say, this one fraud jury, you can see they are at the wrong place at the wrong time, Abi. Because politics, tribal politics, dirty, divisive politics, that APC, egbekegbe, is now embarking on. This
was won by Labour Party. So this is why the ruling party here, APC, they got annoyed with us that we can't be in their environment, in their territory, and we still be voting against them. So this was the plan why they set our market ablaze, to make sure they take off everything that belongs to us as Igbos. So as it is now, there is no enemies of maintaining this market anymore. Because as you can see you can see a caterpillar they brought this morning just to make sure that Akere is no longer in existence. So at this, we are using this privilege because we lost everything here. We lost everything. There is no enemies of survivor anymore. All our goods burned to ashes. All our money in the shop. So we are begging Nigerian government to come for our aid. Because it's just like someone from up to down.
Say one Nigeria.
Because as we east now, we are very much confused because we don't know where to start anymore. We have been in this business for so many years. This is me and this is my elder brother. So all of our business, all of our shops here burned to ashes. There is no enemies for now because this is a plan to eradicate all the Igbos here. As you can see the caterpillar here, now the caterpillar came this morning to make sure they remove everything here and fence it for their own use, according to the information we are hearing this morning. You know, they want to do here for their own use anymore, not for Igbos again. Because the plan to set here ablaze was to make sure they take off all the Igbos in this place. So I want to use the opportunity to beg all Nigerians and the Igbo people like us, please, we need your help. Help I'm talking about, because I know where to start. This is
how sad, because of politics. The same politics that has bear no fruit of peace, progress, or prosperity. Some people went there, and let me tell you something, right? That is just a test of what is still to come. These ignorant Agbero, miseducated Agberos, they strongly believe that eradicating the Igbos and destroying all their markets, burning them down, and then closing them up in the name of renovation, they will never come back there. A lot of them have bragged about it on social media many times. Now, Akere is just where you can say they wanted to test it. A lot of you didn't even know Akere market existed as a spare part market in Lagos. Where if you are from Lagos, you will know, okay? However, a lot of you believe that Ladipo in Lagos is where you get the highest concentration of Igbos who are dealing in spare parts and parts of any machinery. Akere is one big area too. So if they have done it at Ladipo, that would have possibly raised more dust. And indeed, they probably would have destroyed more Yoruba businesses there too. Now, you know what ignorance does, right? Especially when you are ignorantly being misled using tribe and religion, okay? You know what it does? It blinds you. In the process of you trying to deal with the people you call your enemies, you are also going to be destroying the people that you share the same blood with. When Sanwo-Iku went to that Akere, he met with the Yoruba communities there. And some people were saying, oh, were there Yoruba traders there? No, too. Oh, you didn't know. Oh, you think when they say Igbos dominate this market are Igbos and not, so you actually believe that just Igbos, right? Do you see what ignorance does? Do you see what tribal divisive politics does to you? When you burn down their markets, you are committing self-destruction, thinking you are destroying the people you think are your enemies. Some of these stores are owned by Yorubas and non-Yorubas alike. A lot of people in Lagos today live off the rent they take from shop seekers. Tenement trade payments, shop tenement trade payments in Lagos is one of the highest in Nigeria because they have so much concentration of traders as well, being so much closer to the sea. And then, as the system structurally put it, right, makes it the trade center of Nigeria. So you start burning them down. You continue to make Yorubas poorer. Your politicians, kind of more richer. And the land they destroy, the markets they destroy, will be owned by them. So you are not just destroying the supposed enemy you are thinking. You are destroying, you are targeting the source of what actually makes Lagos Lagos. I know you don't care because of elections, right? You are going to make, just like APC, egbekegbe, made hundreds of thousands of Yorubas, including millions indirectly as well, poorer in the last 7 years when APC, egbekegbe, under Bokwari, shut our own border in southern Nigeria, wreck all businesses around that place, as well as the livelihood of people who live around those borders. You didn't know, you didn't care, because you never probably want to. So cut your nose to spite your face. Is that what they call it? Cut your nose to spite your face. I'll show you. You know what I mean? So tribal bigotry doesn't let you think. A lot of you probably have forgotten that if you are supporting one Nigeria, you have no right, okay, to question anybody, wherever they choose to be, including Lagos. The miseducated Agbero that is Oba Elegushi, what do you call him? What is his name again? That guy that, if a real government does, actually exists, he probably will be languishing in jail. You won't call him Oba. You know? Because those are the real people selling your land. And they sell your land to the highest bidder. They don't give a fuck whether you are Yoruba or Igbo. Just pay us money. Then they turn around to say, Igbos are your problems. Hello. Whoever is not in their clique is an enemy. How long do you want to be like that? 40-year-old young man. So many of you will be say, grandma, grandpa, at your age, you are helping them to share lies against Omonui. When Yemi was alive, that was my great, great grandma, great grandmother, grandfather, great. Okay. Sorry, I just want to make sure that I'm saying the right one because she was so old, that I would prefer. I would sometimes want to say my great great grandmother. Yeah, she died at the age of over 100. Anyway, whenever she is talking to me when she was here, then she's talking about wisdom, talking about responsibility and the rest. So to her, age comes with responsibility. As much as with your age comes, kind of respect, but responsibility comes before respect. So respect will be hand, right? If you are a responsible person. So my great grandma will say, you are using your white ear. You get white ear for head. You get white ear for baby. You get white ear for armpit. You even get white ear down there. That's to remind you all the time that you don't hold though. At this age, if you are not responsible, you cannot be responsible again in your life, because you probably have not much left. That if you have forgotten that you are old and you have to be responsible, just go to the shower. Grandma or social media. Grandpa, Okpono grandpa. Yeah, I'm talking to you, sir. Don't turn your head. Turn here. I'm talking. Yeah, you. Exactly you. If you have forgotten that you are actually an old man, go to your bathroom now. Take off everything and see everywhere. You will be reminded. You now turn yourself to Olori Buruku Ashi. They say, Agba oke nwa loja. In Yoruba land, there's a saying, they say, Agba oke nwa loja ki ori omo tuntun wo. Which simply means, sometimes you have to be very, very specific, if not to come out. There are so many meanings that are lost during interpretation. Sure you get. So, Agba oke nwa loja ki ori omo tuntun bend. So, an elder will not walk by a mother who has a child, who backed that child wrongly. An elder will not see that and look away. So they will automatically say, so they won't look away. Sure, you get it. I think that explains it, but don't worry. You shall get what I'm saying. That means as an elder, when you see something that is right, you support it. When you see something that is wrong, you reject it. Then you preach by correcting it. Sure, you get. For you, because of politics, you turn to the person spreading propaganda about omonui, when I provoke my mom, you know, when you provoke your mom, I don't know if you grew up in Yoruba land, Ijebu to be precise. When you provoke your male so much, you know that kind of provocation, we be say, you go to say your male won't get a heart attack. Sometimes she go pick race after you. Stubborn boy. Run after you. And then when she realizes that she can't get you, then she can just roll on the floor and say, yeah, Boko! I am dead. You have killed me. Then you have to run back and say, sorry, ma. Then she will grab you. Then you receive the real beating. What do you call it? Of your life. Then in the beating, you say, hey, you want to kill me. I suppose don't take you, do menstruation. I not suppose keep, you know, that kind of thing. I'm going to go to fish. You so you grew up, you became agba ofo. So like almost like Badebo, 40 years old. You are 60, you are 70. You are sharing on, you are forward to 10%, forward to 20%. Badebo is Shinedu, he cannot speak Yoruba. We have to protect Yoruba land. You're running what? At your age, you have been around since how many years now? You are 60 years. Some of you are 70. Some of you are in your 50s. At your age, you have been around for 50 years. Your eyes never see bad thing enough. You want us to suffer, so that it can be showing on our face and say, I want Nigeria to tell about Nigeria no treat you well. Say, Baba, we just survive in the grace of God, Duni. You are spreading hate. See, when some of you, when you were 20 years old, all of now we be say old men, in your late 50s or be 50s, 60s, 70s, that are now trying to gaslight young people, telling them that they have no respect. You have to respect elder. Do you want to grow old? Sholori Brukui, when you are 20 years old. When you are 20 years old. Probably like 40 years ago. She now the future where you saw be this when you are like in your 20s. Now the future where you saw be this. The patience that you have been patient about, let's be patient. Let's pray for the leader. Let us another nonsense that you are trying to tell the young ones today. Gaslighting them that they don't have respect. Who will respect people, useless old men and women, whose only thing, an argument is that they want you to respect them, even though they don't get sense. Majority of them don't get sense. Trust me, they don't get sense. Because if they get sense, look at all those old criminals who have been in charge of Nigeria, country where people with the lead get sense. Now, so the country they be. Nigeria look like a place where people with the rule and get sense, as old as relic as they are. So what they are demanding for respect. Can you believe that? Useless humans who have failed themselves, failed those who came after them, failed those who are still going to come after them. But they want respect because they are old. See this my white hair. You don't let me curse you with this white hair. Baba, Tẹ́ bá tún fọ́ ọkàn irun funfun yín yẹn wọ́n máa ní kó gé ni. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ eriwo ẹ di bàbá yẹn mú. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ eriwo ẹ mú bàbá yẹn wá sáré, ẹ mú ya yẹn, ẹ fà ya yẹn mọ́ra ń bí. Ìwọ lọ gbé generator wá, ìwọ lọ rọ epo sínú generator yẹn, ìwọ ṣáná sí generator yẹn. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni, ìwọ gba clipper yẹn kó gé irun funfun orí tó wà lórí wèrè yẹn dànù. Kó sáré look younger, kẹ́ wá kó 40 bò kẹ́ ti dànù síta. That's exactly what you will be treated as. The generation that will never be scared of your entitlement. You won't scare them away. It's coming to that stage. Okay? So before you are respected because you are an older person, right, you must also be responsible as well. I mean, I'm just saying, it's going to get there. So that you will know that you can no longer threaten anybody with old age. I will curse you. Don't let me curse you. I can, you cannot curse anybody. Your what do you call it? Your enablement, you're being part of the rotten system that brought us here, right? That has divided Nigeria this much, is already placed Nigeria as a cost place, a cost country. And people we don't agree. We just don't want to exist in such a, in such establishment, right? Are demanding that the status quo must go. But you lori buruku ashiri agbaya yen. You are pushing a narrative against a 40-year-old. 40-year-old. Look at this guy, yo. He's responding to some of those things they've said. And I think I should share them with you going forward. Show me cash. Because at least, just make sure that whatever you are doing for any of this roguish APC, PDP, just make sure say them pay you cash before you come and talk to me. Even when we know they like Nigeria, realize that they get access to cash than you. Show me cash.
My name is Gbadebo Osvaivo, Labour Party governorship candidate for Lagos State. I'm giving this address to address some of the fears that APC has tried to push out there into the minds of the several different people in Lagos State about my eventual emergence as governor of Lagos State. To the civil servants, you have nothing to worry about. In my first 100 days, we'll be revising your salaries upwards. Our aim is to ensure that you earn a living wage, not a minimum wage. And from our calculations and our analysis, everybody needs to earn 150,000 to actually be able to have a means of living a quality life in Lagos State. We might not achieve that from day one, but we'll work to achieve that in the first year of my government. You have nothing to fear about losing your jobs. In fact, your pensions will be paid earlier. The only people that have any cause for concern are the people that have been looting our commonwealth, because those funds will be taken and put into ensuring that the lives and quality of life of civil servants are much better. Because we cannot expect the civil service to work and bring my vision into reality without ensuring that they have a quality of life that can meet the standards that Lagos needs. So I need you to partner with me to be able to achieve our Lagos. And to do this, I need to make sure that you are paid and taken care of very well. There are many benefits from student loans, access to student loans, housing benefits, and a life that will set you on the path to being truly middle class. To the transport unions, you have nothing to worry about. All we are going to do is ensure that the monies that are being generated are actually going to benefit you directly. Monies are not just going to be going up to leaders that use it without accounting for it. We must hold a transparent way so that you, the union member that is running after buses and doing all this work, will actually have benefits, health insurance benefits. See, as you are running on the road, if a bus hits you and you end up in hospital, do you have any medical insurance to pay that? Your children need to go to school. Is there any means or any monies from that you can use to pay that? As a government, you are going to ensure that you have a good quality of life. To the market women all across Lagos State, and even the men that sell in the market, for the first time, you'll be able to appoint your own Iyaloja. The way it was done in the days before, where the Iyaloja actually stood in the interest of the people against the government. To the type of Iyalojas that were able to work with Emefiole to fight against colonialism, are going to restore Lagos back to that history. Don't worry about extortion from agros again, excessive taxes that make your business unprofitable. With us, you'll be able to make money from your business because we're not just going to be taking money from you every day, left, right, and center. We want you to grow. We want your business to be successful. And we'll account for the monies that you pay as levies to us. So all our industrious traditional rulers and royal fathers, the time of the government just using you as rubber stamps to legitimize what they are doing is over. The traditional rulers have a firm place in our government, and we are going to ensure that we consult with you with any policy that we want to do in your constituency, your jurisdiction, and we know that that is the only way we can actually have successful governance. We are going to bring you again to the seat, to the table of power. You will not just be a rubber stamp for the government. What the colonialists did is not something that we should continue. You will have a pride of place in my government, and will preserve and aggregate and curate our traditions so we can also bring in tourists to also improve the economies of all your jurisdiction and give you dividends of good governance.
Papa, Mama, and Pikin, vote.
That's Gbadebo. Somebody that if he wasn't running to be governor in Lagos State, at the age of 40, a lot of young people, including the Lagos Abobakus, they will be proud, right, to flaunt him on social media. I mean, these Lagos Abobakus are so funny. Let me tell you something about them. They are also the most hypocritical creatures that you can come across in your life. I mean, well, maybe more that I have come across in my life. They agree that Nigeria is not working. But for political gain, they can't say it like that. So that is hypocritical, right? Not just that. When the Biafrans said they want to leave, they were calling on Bokwari to kill them. Send soldier, or go and teach them. In fact, Bokwari said they were just dot in a circle that can be cleaned out. He said Igbos are dot in a circle that he's going to clean out. They supported him. They said, deal with them. Like we dealt with their fathers, like we dealt with their mothers, like we blah, 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 blah. You know, all these empty barrels, right? They supported the killings and the massacre, as well as the terrorism in eastern Nigeria, politically motivated terrorism. They supported that. But it wasn't long when the same smoke started brewing in Yoruba land. Yoruba nation, we need to be on our own. Our people need to be in control of our own affairs, right? We need to protect ourselves. We need to let our people actually eat from the resources of their land. We want to be governed by ourselves. We want to make laws, rules that actually covers the entire region of Western Nigeria in order to help, right, build the future that Nigeria couldn't give to us for 63 years. And no guarantee that they would ever give it to us, including our children. Nobu Koso, a very, very legitimate advocacy. Lagos Abobakus, because of the crumb of political office, because of the lust, or what do you call it? The lust of the perks of political office. They called on Bokwari to kill us. And that's exactly what Bokwari did. They killed Yorubas. Because Tinubu and gang, who are also Yorubas, they called Buhari to kill Yorubas for talking about Yoruba nation. Like I told you, in Nigeria, right? Terrorists are rewarded. Activists are killed or jailed in Nigeria. And they always get the support of the Lagos Abobakus. Buhari Dins, Buhari Diderins. Buhari the Notus, Buhari the Jatus, Buhari Shukusungo, Ziari Unekahari. Their uncles and aunties are abroad, though they are abroad, Buhari Dioto. They call on Buhari to kill people. Showore spoke, they said, kill him. He wants to divide Nigeria, want to cause problem in Nigeria. Kill him. But they didn't kill him, they jailed him. All of these are in expectation that our local is going to be their turn. Unfortunately, I wouldn't say from nowhere, anyway, politically, almost from nowhere, the obedience came. Like, like that. Like that. Sure you get. And suddenly, the Lagos Abobaku Soshogbo Alimajiri Buhari Dios Dede, they are now saying, why can't you just, are you not supporting Yoruba Nation again? Why are you not promoting Yoruba Nation again? They don't care about it, not that they care. Oh, I would have preferred that if disobedient, if they support Showore, if it was Showore now, Showore is better, not this Obi. As if to say they care about the same Showore they said they should kill for asking them to stand up. Then Muslim ticket. Oh, you know what I mean? It has now become something like a joke. Sure you guys. Sanwo-Iku repairing phone. Doing here. And then what else? Mechanic. And all of this are designed to show you that pressure tiwa. Free of charge. Because one of the problem is that they don't really care about anything other than the slavery that they have been subjected to, that they want to keep together. They have no way of defending anything. All they have to do is to attack you tribally, attack you religiously, do every other thing to condescend on you, because they don't expect you to be this stubborn and making life hell for their criminal leaders. The last time I told you that the reason why they were all so quiet for days and so afraid to even share one video where they are celebrating the victory of Tinubu was because they were waiting for, they were waiting for their leaders to rig for them so that they can come around and brag about structure, brag about building bridges, brag about every other thing they brag about. I just didn't know that it would take them days, weeks, that until now, even up till now, they still can't celebrate that Kolu has been declared winner. They continue to make more and more mistakes, like the one they've made on the Naira. One weary Lagos Abobaku. I was reading the comments on Facebook, and that Ashiri Ajiyaje Oniya Lagos Abobaku, a crumb eater or probably a crumb chaser, or maybe his own is all right, sirs. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. A Lagos Abobaku and Agbadorian who jumped in and he said, Mayegu, so you are now supporting. No, hang on. Let me see how he framed it. He said, I supported Bokwari, okay, on the new Naira, old Naira, and the rest of that. That why am I now against Bokwari after Supreme Court said the money is legal? It won't tell me. Can't tell me. Bokwari came out, is APC, egbekegbe. He said he's changing your money to color your money because some people don't steal money to hide and they've hidden the money for elections. He wanted to stop them. Okay, without considering all of you that didn't have any money to stockpile or anything, he said it is for your interest. I announced that. I said it wasn't because of your interest. It is political. Just few days later, APC, egbekegbe members who were so quiet for months, they decided to escalate it. And I said, that is also political. Now they are playing all of you. In the whole process, now una go suffer am. Because all of them who are talking about changing money, new money, old money, whatever, all of them will have access to either old or new. They will never lack any. What about you? They will have to deal with whether your money is legal or it's not legal. And your government, who are supposed to give you the clarity, they are waiting for Supreme Court. Supreme Court is giving the order. Now they are waiting for the executive, which is Bukwari, to implement the order. They added to the confusion. But in the whole scenario, all of you, your former economy, the traders who have to sell their wares before they get destroyed, everybody now, some even have the money, but they just, nobody's going to take it from them like that. People are drinking gari. People are calling their parents. Mind you, it is still APC, egbekegbe, in charge. Nobody say any other person take over from them or in between. It is still them. Now, a Lagos Sabobaku came to come and blame me, okay, for Naira scarcity. Blame me, for the problems about your money, your bank transactions, and the rest of them. They are still cowards. After election, they still can't mention Bukwari. This afternoon. Even some of you, your mama, your papa, where they do canvasser for all these criminals, they are now doing canvasser on credit. They suffered you. But because it's Yoruba, or because it's APC, egbekegbe, with your 30,000 or 25,000 naira salary last month, that they won't even pay. Your papa, your mama, pension, they no pay. They say those who are alive have not received money. Now, people who don't die, they ask for money. Pensioners sit down, they are saying that people who are dead are asking for money. They are still alive. Give them their money. But they are telling you that now your land, say you get land for Lagos. Many of you don't even get land. Many of you, you don't get single, one single monkey post. You don't get monkey post land where be say monkey post size anywhere. Person will never fit. Some of you will get the land there. The shege you are seeing, you are looking for buyer for those land. Are you not? You are looking for buyer. As this is our family land. They say they are now selling the land in that area. 1.2 million per plot. Kilo coin. Why are you asking that? How much are they selling land in that part of your state now? Shege, they show you. The people that are showing you the shege, you are still there sweating, bleeding to make them continue. Now you are asking people, how much are they? You know what I mean? For those of you who have land, majority of you don't get any land. They are coming to take over our land. You get land? Person where they Scots. You are Scottish with somebody down there in Oshodi. A lot of you have to get out of the room before the cock crow. Before Kekere in the money. You don't go boom. And you two, you are saying they are coming to take over our land. We must fight. Igbos are coming. Baba, you get land? You get land? I'm just asking, ma give me jail. Now question I ask, what is that thing they say they do dog? Rabbit dog, What is that disease that dog suffers? That they'll become digbolugi like that? Rabbi. Rabbi disease. People are suffering. They are pretending. The governors are threatening. This is the situation of Nigeria. Listen to a state governor, Ogun State governor. This one, oh, when the people that they wanted for canvasser in Ogun State to go and deceive other people, when they had no money to give to them, this guy opened his vault, Ogun State Central Bank, OK Moson, Abeokuta. And they called all their members, APC, egbekegbe, they started giving them money, old notes. People come, they ask, should they go collect this money from us? Bros, Ejo, are they going to collect this? They will collect it from you. They will collect it from you. The governor gave it to you. 3 weeks after that, Supreme Court judgment. The governors are still threatening people because nobody they collect the money like that.
I am hereby sounding a note of warning to every merchant, trader, petrol station, banker that is refusing old Naira notes. If you are reported to me, I will deal with you to the fullest extent of the law. Now listen. This is serious business. The Supreme Court of Nigeria is the highest court in the land. Supreme Court has ruled that the old Naira notes remain legal tender. Hello. Supreme Court has ruled that the deadline has been moved till December. Any filling station tí o bá gbá ó lò tó bá fẹjọ́ sí ni wọ́n máa ti pa. Any bank tẹ bá kó note lọ sí bank tó bá gbà ẹ pè mí máa tilẹ̀kùn báńkì ẹ pa. Any supermarket tẹ̀ ń bọ̀ supermarket tí o bá gbá ó lò. All Naira notes remain legal tender. And ẹ̀yin náà, hello, ẹ̀yin náà union, tẹ̀lé transporters, ẹ bá dojú ìgbà yín o, ẹ bá gbà. Tó o bá gbà lọ́wọ́ yín ní báǹkì, ẹ sọ fún mi, màá gbà lọ́wọ́ yín máa kúrò báǹkì ẹ.
Àti báǹkì ẹ pa. You know, just tell people what they want to hear. Should there even be in a lawful country? Should there even be confusion in the first place? Because you want to change money, old money, new money, and all of that. But the Ekweda, the founding rats, founding rats, Ekweda, that started all of this, that a lot of them cannot talk about. The deity, the Shigidi, the lifeless mannequin called Mumadu Bokwari. They can't mention his name. Emefiole said they have destroyed more than 60% of the old money. We have destroyed them. Some of you saw the video of those destroyed money. Somebody made a video and said, look at money. They destroy money. But that's how they destroy money. Bad money. Our money where they're not doing again. Don't let anybody deceive you on social media, okay? Emefiole don't shred the money. They don't burn them. Now people where their own last batch never enter. Now them, they give you that cash. That is why some people got the money. Imagine going to the bank to make a withdrawal, 10,000 naira, and the bank gave you 10,000 naira, old note. You walk out of the bank, you walk straight into the mall, and say, "You me milo come spaghetti meji, get me pure water meta. How much? 10,000 naira. Oh yeah, take this 10,000 naira." Say, hey, Alabamsa, Akoya Alabamsa, lai. From the bank I'm just coming from. It's old, no, it's legal. This is the confusion APC has brought. Guess what? Businesses have been affected. Profits have been affected. In fact, businesses are actually so suffering that people are losing their jobs right now on this Naira madness, so that some of you are actually thinking you can hide. The problem of the legitimacy of your money is dwindling the economy of Nigeria right now. Small businesses, they are folding up. But Nigeria is a place where anything goes. God will just take care. Papa, don't say the work. That's not how God work. God just doesn't come and take care of it too. You better live in that reality. That's not how the world works. No, that's not how it works. They will take everything away from you. The futures. They are telling you that it's going to be light after the tunnel. Remember when I told you that late last year? Anybody that is telling you that there is a light after the tunnel. You know, tunnel is like a dark, small, sort of, space. Tunnel. Now like this, you go to walk inside tunnel, Abi. And tunnel is dark. Tunnel is always dark. Except they put light into it. But let's say, they say Nigeria is inside the tunnel. Nigeria is inside this dark tunnel. There is light after the tunnel. They are lying to you. If you are a young person, if you are 30 years old and below, don't let anybody tell you that. Last year, we did a research, online research, proper spiritual researchers. They have traveled, metaverse. They have traveled to the future. They have went to the end of that tunnel. Baba, kosi number, no light. Sure you get. Don't let anybody lie to you. There's no light at the end of Nigeria tunnel. And the reason for all of this is because those who don't want Nigeria to succeed are the powerful people that have held you so down. I mean, think about this. Think about this. Every time that you hear the news about Kaduna, Southern Kaduna, it's not good news. It's never been. Genocide, killings. During the election, people were asking, Mayegun, where are these terrorists? Mayegun, I have not seen any attack. I have not seen all these terrorists. I said they are on break. Because they have to also make sure and study things. It's like people who are studying the stock market. You don't care. A lot of us don't. Some of us don't even want to bother ourselves. They say, Baba, shares Aramco is out. How much is the share? It's about $60 per share. Okay, let me see how much I can buy. You don't want to bother yourself about how the whole thing is going. A lot of people don't. You just call them and say, Baba, at least go away. What? Yes, the share crashed. Crash. How much is the share now? Now $1.50 or 50 cents. Ha! That is $60. You told me that was a good thing and I pay. Yeah, I thought. But we are monitoring it. We are monitoring. But by the time I sleep, I open my eyes like this. It don't drop, sir. That's how stock work. You may not understand. So have I lost all my money now? Not all of it. Small remain. Are you with me? So there are those, right, who have been following, monitoring, and they have said that, listen, it's like there's nothing good that should be coming from Southern Kaduna. Bad news. Bad news all the time. Why? Because the terrorists that are operating in that area, brought from the Sahel by the Fulani terrorists in government, those who are safeguarding and protecting them, those who are actually harming them, they needed to call ceasefire for a moment. They were the same people who went to court. Bokwari said he wanted to stop the kidnappers who have collected billions of your old Naira note from using them. But the Boko Haram sympathizers, Fulani terrorist financiers in your government, they went to court to stop them. Now, the money where the kidnappers earned, they are very valid. It's just that they don't collect their old notes anymore. The people who then kidnap last week, they paid their ransom. They said, no, don't try it. Don't try it. If they kidnap you, don't go pay them with old notes. I advise you. It's actually generally advised. But they still have the money. They can still use it. They can still pass it through the system, and they can have more. Election is over. They told you Muslim. You said it doesn't matter. It matter. It's about the country. It's about what they have upstairs. They ask you, what did Tinubu get for upstairs? Let's be honest. Waiting till Tinubu get for upstairs. Waiting.
All classes. You know what they call F level? When you get failure in all the subjects that you take. F9, F8, F9, F8, FF, double F. That is his name.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take India.
You hear somebody like that and you are bragging. You will see how Asiwaju will turn Nigeria around. Of course now, Bokwari no turn Nigeria around. When somebody say, you go do 360, you go do 360, because Bokwari will turn you around. In 7.5 years, it happened so fast. That some of you will think, it don't reach 7 years in a day. Nigeria to turn around like this already. That's exactly what happened. You will see that Asiwaju, I mean, come on, give him the key, give him the, come on. Wish you all the best, okay? But don't turn around and say prayer. Because what they have done in southern Kaduna is that they have resumed. 36 people, 36 fishermen were slaughtered in Borno. Everybody just pretend that nothing happened. Can you believe that? In Nigeria, 36 people, human beings, like that. Then they didn't stop. I mean, people cannot even enjoy 1 month ceasefire. They went straight to Katsina. Yes, they went to Katsina. And they killed another 35. Katsina, Kaduna, they went to southern Kaduna. Now, southern Kaduna is back in the news. Innocent people, children, have been slaughtered again by Fulani terrorists. Kilo Dekan. Somebody did explain. This was 4 years ago. 4 years ago. A lot of people who heard this 4 years ago. Some of them are dead in that same southern Kaduna today. But this is a politician raising it in the floor of the National Assembly. Word for word. Listen to it.
In southern Kaduna, in Kaduna Metropolis, I'm happy. It happens in Zamfara as well. Can you compare notes? He, the person that is from Zamfara, there should be reasons why all people can be killed anyhow like cows. If only things are happening in Zamfara and they are happening in Kaduna, what is the comparing not like? If all those that are from Zamfara and all Muslims and those from southern Kaduna are all Christians, is it a must that people should be dying in this form? People are not supposed to die. Nobody wants anybody to lose life. Life is given by God, and nobody has reason for why life should be taken by a human being. In the first place, if I noticed that the governor was out of town, I quite appreciate he was out of town. But was he supposed to live without leaving responsibility to his deputy? Who did he pass the responsibility to? At any given time, once somebody is traveling out, you must have somebody that will oversee the state for you. It is something that everybody must take into consideration. Life is just but a walking shadow. But if you don't do it the way it's supposed to be done, nothing can ever be protected. I remember in the Senate, the governor was banned from holding public office. And nothing has been done about that. I didn't know how that ban was lifted. Because if you know what you are doing, you can never allow all killings to go the way it's going. What for? We are all human beings. There should be no separate of powers or even try to look at people as if they don't know what they are doing. We are all human beings. I don't differentiate. As long as we're all human beings, nobody should take one so special than the other one. I don't criticize anybody, but I want things should be done in the rightful way. All the happenings in Kaduna State is caused by the governor of Kaduna State. Because she's not putting all the necessary things in place. The responsibility, he leaves them all. And of course, anything that happens, he knows it and he pretends not to know. That's not supposed to be. Why should other people be suffering and other ones be pretending not to? It is not a must that I must vote somebody. I can vote somebody because I want that person. And if that person is not voted into power, should it be a reason for hating that person? So he's telling us that because Sarah Kaduna did not vote and he's trying to take revenge on them, that's supposed not to be. We are looking at all these things, we are observing, and we are always watching. Something must be done. How can you start calling the past strike or killings in 2011, comparing now that they are trying to pay? Why is it that is he asking for federal government to give him money? Is he the only governor to pay that damages? Without the damages cannot be paid by any other governor, must he be the person? So if he's looking for the money, that money will not be given out. Any other person can come and pay that money, but not him in person. If you don't have regard for the human beings, we cannot allow that to be. We will not allow that. These things happen in Kaduna, and all of you should know that at any given time, it can happen to anybody. Because we are fighting this cause today to prevent the unforeseen contingencies all over the country. So don't look at the Kaduna issue as a problem alone. It can affect anybody. So I want everybody to put in the record that what is happening in Kaduna can happen in any local government or in any state. So if any good step is not taken in Kaduna State, it can fly to any other place. So I'm telling you, all brothers and sisters that are here, this issue should not be taken it lightly. Thinking of whoever must have caused this, they know who has done this. They know who is doing it. They can never pretend not to tell us that they don't know who is doing it. For having fake soldiers all over the country, telling us that these things are not supposed to be done in that way. Why?
Why? Because the people behind all of the attacks, like he said, are the people that are supposed to stop them. It's as simple as that, okay? Like, how do you even work that out? Like, Nigeria is so corrupt, eh? That corrupt people are also investigating other corrupt people, and they are kind of always surprised. When you hear it gets to a stage where you be a thief, a public thief, okay? Then you hear the story of other people, what they stole or how they stole something, and then you scream as you to corro, that kind of say I feel now own level of stealing. Now from another level, hey, I'll give you an example. That's how corrupt Nigeria has become, and these criminals are living off it, okay? Northerners, especially the political elite and other elite from the northern Nigeria, they live off Nigeria resources, and they have a way of sharing them. The most popular way of sharing the money is what they call the FAAC, Federal Allocation Committee. When you know they ask me too much, why is allocation twice there? It's because it's money. That is what that thing stands for. To share money. FAC. Federal Allocation Commission. Make sense? Now, their number one job is to share money to states, local governments. Then, the money they are sharing to everywhere, those states, federal government that is sharing it, they will take the chunk of it. underneath that money, they have created different shop. What is shop? You know, when you say open shop, that will be collecting and sharing the money. Some of you will hear the name of different committee, different agency, different parastatal, different this and that. And then you will see 5,000 employees. 5,000. What are you doing in this ministry? Because the place is just job for the boys. They think go bring one Malam Maikori from Niger Republic. They say Malam Maikori, Malam Maikori is now the head of Alimajiri, Federal Board of Alimajiri System in Nigeria and all of that. And then under Malam Maikori, that's true. If you spell Malam back and forth, now the same thing you go get. Sure, you know. If you spell Malam, if you spell it from behind, you'll get Malam. If you spell it from the front, either way you get Malam. So it doesn't really matter if I say Malam, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing, okay? Now Malam Maikori, they will now say Malam Maikori. 500 people from Yobe, 500 from Sokoto, 400 from Kano, 200 from Nassarawa, 300 from Maiduguri. This, they will now give all the names to Maikori and say, these are your staff for the Almajiri Federal Agency. So when they now write, when they share money, and the money is now to go to the ministry agency, Malam Maikori, even if Malam Maikori doesn't even understand anything he's sitting there for. They say, Malam, just go there. Just say go be, you are secretary. Now you go to answer question. Malam go sit down there as chairman. He say, yeah, sonu da iki abi sonu da kudano, whatever. This is how they put up their scam. So you will now start hearing 4 billion, 40 billion, 30 billion. Say, which one is, which ministry is this one? So you don't understand. It's just jobs for the boys. Do you want to see what I'm talking about? Take a look at this one. Pilgrimage, Alimajiri pilgrimage, something, Islamic. See, I don't want to make it up. Listen to this.
The lawmakers expressed displeasure with the Registrar of the National Board for Arabic and Islamic Studies, Mohammed Abdullahi, with a non-remittance of over 300 million naira revenue generated to the Consolidated Revenue Fund.
We were able to pay 30 million naira out of this 410. To conduct an exams in a year, they are saying they have spent 380 something million, and we are here to collect another budget from the federal government. I haven't contributed just 35 million, and if they ask for their budget there, they'll be telling me in the region of 10 to 20 billion naira. 5,963 members of staff arranging for one examination in a year and being paid 8.5 billion and now generating only 410, out of which you remit only 35 million. There is a need to look deeper into what this is about.
The committee resolved to set up.
Sure, you get what I said. Like you get some level where we say you be thief, like you are a thief and you are not ashamed of it. You are like, go alole. All of us are thieves. The politicians are thieves. But you begin to read some things and you be like, this is too much, yo. 5,000 staff conducting one examination for Islamic study. How many of you know that there is an agency called Islamic Study Abuja? So all those Arabic examination, where would they do for school that time? Because I did Arabic. I did CRK, IRK. I read about Joseph and every other thing like that, because you just have to read something to, you know what I mean. So some people are being paid to organize the test, Abi. You see, that's Nigeria, the corruption capital of the world. Maybe not. Maybe not. Because as it be so, it seems that somebody said somebody should please tell him or if Peter Obi is going to win his court case. See, anybody will tell you, say, Peter Obi no go win for courts. Don't listen to them. Anybody will tell you, say, guarantee Peter Obi go win for court. Think before you listen to them, because I don't know the state of your mental health. Some things they will be say, even you yourself have to tell yourself to maintain your mental health. If telling yourself that you believe strongly that Peter Obi is going to get his mandate from court, don't let anybody change your mind until that happens. This is GO to brethren now. You don't need to take my advice. So I've told people many times, so nobody needs to take my word. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to take my advice, but you will remember I actually offered some. Okay, like my good said, because as it be so, Ogun Pharaoh ni o. You know where they say the Pharaoh war is Hydra headed. Hydra mean multiple. So cling on to what you believe in. Oh, don't let anybody poison that for you. My dear brother, for court, where they use the BVAS, BVAS, Oshun. You remember Oshun election, Abi? Now BVAS, no, so BVAS. Now BVAS, so cause wahala for dancing senator or dancing governor of Oshun, Adeleke. He's actually being so good to them. This guy has paid some of the half salary that Aregbe didn't pay. And somehow is the only threat right now is what they are going to find in the BVAS. Peter Obi believed in the BVAS. He said with the BVAS, he can prove that Kolu didn't score 8.7 million. That he himself scored more than that. And he will prove it. So if you have to use the template of the dancing governor, Ade dancer, Governor Jackson of Oshun, I think you should follow his own model. Today, the appeal courts reserved judgments on whether Jackson won or Oletola won. But in ohun gbogbo, as they say, Bíbélì pé nínú ohun gbogbo, káṣà máa mújó. In everything, if you sabi dance, but just dance. Somebody said, listen, problem no dey finish, you know that, sabi? Go to your bank, withdraw your money. Go and shop life. Problem no dey finish. I've been saving this 400,000. I'm thinking of what to do. Stop. Okay? Withdraw the money or go and withdraw 100,000 there. Pretend that you are rich. Go and chop life, chop anything. Do whatever you want to do, like, you know what I mean? Because problem no dey finish. Dancing Senator Adeleke, as they are dangling the sword of a demagogue over his head, as the vultures are grouping, waiting, so that they can enter back Oshun. Kogbe soro yin pada de. Adeleke, obedient. You can try and be like Adeleke. Sure you get. Dance.
Wọn Nurudini wàláyé wà borí wọn, wàláyé wà borí wọn.
I don't know how to compose the one for Obi. Eh? Obi walai wa bori wa walai wa bori wa. In everything, dance. In everything, eat. My brother, any problem where you get, any problem, no matter what you think, say you they go through in life, eat. I know what I'm talking about. Anything, no matter what it is, please eat. Any problem we go make it difficult for you to eat. Seafood, no eat. Even me, I no pray am for you. Eat, oh, problem no dey finish, oh. Dance, oh, cause problem no dey finish. However, do that with some senses too. So I picked something up, maybe just to cheer you up. The obedient, okay? It's been lying there in the file. If you want to hear his voice again, okay? The last time he was out there, he had this to say. Obi.
Nigerians, you be proud to say that Nigerians will be caring for poor people in our midst. That is the opportunity for our young ones, for the youth, and women to grow. I don't think Nigerians want to grow. People of the next step, and all Nigerians, election is coming up on the 18th. Go out and commit to vote for Labour Party.
So I say, Mega, give you the obedient. That will maybe take a whole body as you go to bed tonight, because God knows how much of a dream all of you are actually having since this whole nightmare started. If I start, if I should do a session and I say, oh, can you come and share your dream about these charade elections? I can tell you, a lot of you, because there's so much on your mind. I had a dream last night, Mayegu. I saw Obi, he reclaimed his mandate. I know, because that's what you want, isn't it? Is that not what you want? Is that not what you're thinking? No, I don't even support him. I don't even... Calm down. If you are thinking of him winning, all your dream from now, till the Supreme Court you, now I ain't going to win. Even if you see Kolu taking, I had a dream, Tinubu came and he took the crown off Peter Obi's head like this. And as he was running away, it's just like a command. So Peter started chasing him. But when we now look, I don't know, I started chasing them too. Then when I look back, I saw a lot of millions of people. They are chasing Tinubu, but Tinubu is running. Tinubu no fit run. You know, say in real life, you know fit run. Now dream. Because you know that Tinubu stole your mandate. So if you now dream and you see Tinubu running, it no real. You see that part where Peter Obi come give him sliding tackle, and Tinubu come fall. The crown come fall, come the roll. You, in that your dream, it can't roll, enter your hand. You can't cry, say, look at Peter Obi crown. It's all of that are normal. Okay, they are reactions to the trauma that millions of people are going through right now. A lot of people are still not believing it. Even Tinubu, where they declare winner, still no believer. You get what I mean? All of this and every other dream you are having, they are your reaction to so much you expect on this. So cling on to them. Okay, cling on to them. Believe what you believe in and stick to them, because sometimes miracle only requires faith. No be so. But on Mayegun's Diary Political, I promise you, I'll keep you updated all the time. A lot of people said they want to call in tonight. I actually wish I was going to take calls tonight, but I've already used all the time. I would have used to take calls. So let's patch calls tonight. So for example, tomorrow, how about we do our People's Parliament? Like tomorrow, like would you like to come on and then like the phone calls, okay? People's Parliament, you come on, you put on your camera of your this thing, there's a link, you join us, and you can actually contribute. Say your mind. Nobody go beat you. Don't worry, there will be faces and all of them. Nobody go beat you. Nobody has ever had the courage to even say they will beat Mayegun. So you can come here, you can come up here and speak your mind as well on a lot of things. And finally, before I go, I'm thinking, if all of you right now, especially you, the obedience, right, who are angered, enraged by the violation of the Nigerian laws, INEC violating their own law, breaking their own laws, their own rules. A lot of you have said a lot of things. This is why Nigeria is that, blah, 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 injustice everywhere and all of that. A lot of people are walking about with scars. I'm talking about scars from them just participating in an electoral process in their country. Arms amputated, legs amputated, different scars from just standing up against the system as we speak. I'm gonna, where is that one again? Yeah. So you are now experiencing that injustice in a different way. A lot of you are not believing in their courts. Okay? But nevertheless, you are encouraging them to go there. So injustice is what you are screaming of. Injustice. This is injustice. This is rigging. This is stealing. We can't let this happen. Injustice is almost the same. It's the same everywhere. You feel you are cheated. You feel like you are suppressed. And you feel the weight of those who think they are bigger than you, heavier than you, trying to suppress that precious, what do you call it, your precious feelings there. A lot of you are going to protest, or even riot, or revolution and all of that, if this marginalization continues. But do you remember how so many of you went into panic mode, went into asphyxiation, and then inability to breathe well, think well, see well, talk well, and humanity died? Was when the court said Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime. And if he had committed any crime, Nigeria has failed to prove it. If you start counting by your fingers, This has been over 150 days ago that your own legitimate court in Nigeria gave a legitimate order and Boko Haram dishonored it. In fact, a lot of you at the time said it was Nnamdi Kanu working for APC, that the intention was to release him so that he can cause problem for Peter Obi election. A lot of you lost your humanity for that moment. You wanted an innocent man to remain locked up, even when the criminals who have told you is a monster have failed to prove that. Your court said he should go. Boko Haram held him. And I think that was the right thing to do. I mean, when Boko Haram disobeyed the court, locked an innocent man up, as much as they are talking about his health and all that, to you is worse than whatever Boko Haram was doing to you and APC. Egbekegbe, you supported the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu because his release may stop your victory. Nnamdi Kanu, on justice, still locked up. You are looking for justice. Maybe you are selective about them. I just thought I should remind you that an injustice to one is an injustice to all. And if you think that what they are doing to Nnamdi Kanu, I'm talking about Boko Haram and his gang, what they are doing in Eastern Nigeria, if you think anything they say, or you believe them, that they are doing them because of you or because of Nigeria, you will get to know later as well. But like I said, injustice to one is injustice to all. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. You can cherry pick. I just thought I should remind you as you seek justice from the people who are not just. I wish you all the best. Just remember that. And good night. Thank you so much. Okay, don't leave without liking the broadcast. And if you haven't really subscribed onto my channel, please do. This is what we do all the time. We talk about the problems. We prefer solutions. We even offer help to the victims of the establishment. You're welcome. And thank you. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun Diary politico. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.